Who we got now?
We've got Sheldon Ang from Perth, Australia, from Around the Sound.
Hi, Sheldon.
How you doing, Ace?
Is this a podcast or a radio station or a magazine?
No, it's from a magazine, so nothing too fancy, my friend.
Okay.
How you doing? How are you?
I'm great. It's 8:15 p.m. here, Thursday.
Are you in
The album's already released in Australia.
Yeah, I think so, because I think we do follow the American time when it comes to releasing of the albums. So maybe tomorrow, I would say, American time. Yeah, so we're looking forward to the...
I heard it was supposed to be released Friday the 28th. So.
18 you
or
mean?
The 18th, rather.
Yeah, that's it, my friend. So...
Friday the 18th, and Friday the 18th where you are, correct?
Yeah, that's correct, that's correct. So, are you in Jersey or are you still in the Bronx?
I'm living in Jersey now. Loving it. I'm living in the woods.
Nice, very nice.
Surrounded by trees. I just got a house with a big basement. I'm going to build a studio in. Onwards and upwards.
That's excellent. And it's so surreal to have a chat with you, mate, because 40 years ago, my sister had this poster of 4 men in demonic sort of makeup, and I got freaked out as a child, right? And I thought, this is mad, you know? And here am I talking to you, you know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So it's so surreal and such a great honor for me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the first time we came to Australia in 1980 when we got the key from the Lord Mayor in Sydney. You know, that was a hallmark in my career, and a wonderful tour, you know. We played a couple of stadiums and huge venues, and we were very well received by the Australian fans, and I'll never forget it.
Absolutely. And did you come to Perth as well in 1980?
Yeah.
In Perth, yeah, I'm from Perth actually, so yeah.
I believe so, but don't hold me to it. My memory's not what it used to be.
Nah, you're still fine, my friend. So, Ace, when people think of Ace Frehley, they think of Kiss, but you have done solos since 1978 with the self-titled album. Frehley's Comet even went platinum. So, throughout your career, do you see yourself as a solo artist more than a Kiss member, or do you see yourself, you know, where do you see yourself?
Well, I mean, most people, when they think of Ace Frehley, think of Kiss, but, you know, and the makeup that I created, I designed the Kiss logo. So, I mean, you know, I'll never shake that reputation. Plus, being a guitar special effects innovator with the light guitar, smoking guitar, rocker guitar. So, you know, I'll be tied to Kiss for the rest of my life, you know, but I'm definitely the most successful founding member who has a solo career, and I put out a lot of records in the last 10 years, so I'm having a lot of fun producing my own stuff, being the master of my own music, and, you know, Kiss is doing their thing, and but I don't think they put out an album for about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess that brings us to Origins Volume 2. So did you work on this album as a tribute to those bands that have contributed to rock music, or as a tribute to those who have influenced your career as Ace Frehley?
The whole idea behind the Origins series was for me to record band music that influenced me as a teenager. So that's what the Origins series is all about. You know, all these bands influenced me when I was learning how to play guitar. You know, I saw Led Zeppelin's first New York appearance when I was 16, 17 years old at the Fillmore Reach. I saw The Who and the Cream's first New York appearance at a Murray the K show in Midtown Manhattan. When they were opening up for Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels. So, So, I've seen a lot of firsts, and, all these bands were a big influence on my career, my guitar playing, and I think it shows in my style.
Yeah, because speaking of first, because I heard that you went to a Led Zeppelin concert, apparently that half the people left as soon as Led Zeppelin came in because they were like the main act, but they were there for the supporting act. Was that true?
Yeah, well, that was the show I just mentioned. Led Zeppelin was opening for Iron Butterfly. Iron Butterfly was the headlining act, but once Led Zeppelin went off, half the people left the venue. So it was probably very embarrassing for the headliner.
Yes.
That's what you get for opening up for Led Zeppelin. After that, Led Zeppelin started headlining pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah, Robert Plant. Yeah, excellent. There are so many great bands to choose from. How do you choose who gets to be on your album? Is it based on the technical sonics or the lyrics? How do you choose? Will there be like a volume 3 or 4 or 5 perhaps,
Well, the criteria that I use is, first of all, was the band a big influence on me. Second of all, I have to be able to sing the song, and I don't really consider myself a virtuoso lead vocalist, so, I have to be careful of the songs that I pick and choose to make sure I can sing, do it justice to the vocal. The guitar work is always easy for me. At this point in my career, I can play just about anybody's music, but, it's the vocals that are the hardest for me, and when it came down to doing a Humble Pie song, I knew I wasn't going to be able to give justice to a Steve Marriott vocal, so I got Robin Zander. Was lucky enough to get Robin to help me out on that one, and he just killed the vocal on 30 Days in the Hole. And Lita Ford did a wonderful job on Jumpin' Jack Flash, which I probably could have sang myself, but I wanted to put a spin on it and have a girl sing it. And I coached her for 2 days. She came to my house. I've known Lita since the 70s when the Runaways used to open up for Kiss. So I consider her like my sister.
Yes, for sure.
We're just good friends, and she's opened up for me numerous times, in the last 5 years.
And
life goes on. It's good working with people and no stress, no pressure.
Yeah, and you did the vocals for the rest, including the Led Zeppelin song as well?
So the vocal on the Led Zeppelin song was a big challenge for me. I had to actually tune down to D to sing that, because Robert Plant has such an amazing range. And I couldn't do it in E, but when I tuned down to D, I was able to sing it. And I'm happy with the way it turned out. I think I did the song justice.
I think you did too, mate. It's a really great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. So, did you keep the tracks as original as possible, or did you add a lot of the Ace Frehley flavor to it? Because you're known for your aggressive, atmospheric, and melodic styles.
Can you repeat that? I was just closing the bedroom door.
That's okay. So did you keep the track as original as possible, or did you add a lot of the Ace Frehley styles,
Well, I guess I try to stay true to the original arrangement, but obviously, if I'm singing it and playing the solo, I'm going to put my stamp on it. And, some of the songs I change the arrangements just slightly, change the vocals just a little bit, to give a little twist to it. And but I think I stayed true to most of the arrangements.
Yeah. And the first release, I believe, is Space Truckin by Deep Purple. Why was that chosen as the as a single? Was it a decision by you, or was it by E1's decision?
E1 decided to put that out, and they did an animated video to go along with it. The song came out good. I actually recorded that song 4 or 5 years ago, and it was supposed to go on Origins Volume 1, but, I wasn't completely happy with the version I had recorded at the time, so I just put it aside, and when it came time for Origins Volume 2, I re-recorded the vocal, re-recorded the guitar solo, tightened up the arrangement, and it worked out great for this record.
Yeah. If you don't mind me going back to history a bit, so how was it like to walk onto the stage with 100,000 screaming fans, and you've got this guy who says, "You won the best, you got the best, the world's hottest band, Kiss"? I mean, thinking about it, I get goosebumps by just thinking about it. Like, how does it feel as an artist to walk onto the stage?
I mean, it was an adrenaline rush. It was wonderful. I miss that. I'm not playing 100,000 seat arenas anymore, but playing a 2,500 seat theater, and have that intimacy is also very rewarding. Because when you play those gigantic stadiums, you usually have a big pit between you and the audience, with a bunch of security guards in between you and your fans, so they can't even touch you. And, my eyesight isn't what it used to be. I can't even see their faces that well. So, playing smaller arenas and more intimate venues as of late, is just as rewarding to me.
So you say you miss it, but do you have any regrets leaving Kiss in 1981 as well as 2001? Any regrets at all?
Not at all. It was time to leave. I wasn't having fun anymore. The whole idea behind rock and roll is to have fun. And if you're not having fun, it's time to move on. With the success of my solo album with New York Groove, it was pretty much the writing on the wall for me that I knew I was eventually going to leave Kiss because I was more creative away from Kiss than with Kiss. So, I mean, it was just a matter of time. And, when the Elder, which I was completely against, Paul and Gene and Bob Ezrin pushed on me, and I told them the album was going to bomb, and it bombed. They didn't listen to me. So, that was pretty much the icing on the cake. And that's when I decided to leave the group and move forward with my own band.
Yeah, and was it all about the hedonistic lifestyle of party, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, or was that a myth?
Well, I was abusing drugs and alcohol at the time, so that affected my decision-making process, I guess. But I think it was good that I left, because if I wouldn't have left, it wouldn't have been a great reunion tour in '96. So,
True.
Everything happens for a reason, and then when I got bored with the reunion tour, I left again. And since then, I've been very happy and very successful, put out some great records, and I'm continuing to do so.
Yeah. Last question. What's your best Kiss memory? Yeah, and it's a difficult one.
Not very difficult. Playing three sold-out nights at Madison Square Garden. We all grew up in New York City, so that was our hometown, and to do that was a milestone in my career. I'll never forget it as long as I live.
Yeah. Ace Frehley, if you do come to Perth, let's have a beer, mate. My name is Sheldon Ang, and it is such a great honor to have a chat with you, my friend. Take care of yourself, and all the best, sir.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.